You won't believe how vital the RX-A8A is. Yamaha's top model, the RX-A380, only has 9.2 channels of built-in amplifier capacity up until this point. It felt like the competition was far ahead of Yamaha in this area because it was inconceivable for such a high-end AV receiver to lack 11.2 channels. The RX-A8A appears to have put Yamaha back on track because it has built-in amplifiers that can accommodate up to 11.2 channels. Many people have praised Yamaha for making this choice. So let's briefly review everything the RX-A8A has to offer. As previously indicated, there are 11.2 channels of internal 150-watt amplification. Dolby Atmos and DTS-X are included as normal, and a firmware upgrade will enable Auro 3D. The receiver incorporates particular Aventage hardware improvements for improved audio output while utilizing Yamaha's Cinema DSP HD3 and Surround AI. The IPHAW sound optimization, high-definition audio, Wi-Fi and Bluetooth streaming, MusicCast, AirPlay 2, multiple zone functionality, and most crucially, HDMI 2.1 support are all included in the list of features. The Yamaha RX-A8A appears to be more than just a worthy replacement for the previous Yamaha flagships, at least in theory. The volume knob has been moved to the middle in comparison to previous models, and the display screen has been upgraded with an LCD model that is mounted on the right side of the volume knob. The device has a nearly solid front side. A second, smaller knob on the far right is used to navigate the display screen and choose input sources. There are 3 little indications for zone, pure direct, and surround above the smaller knob, while some touch controls with 4 SC and E buttons, return, and menu are located on its right side. Behind the LCD screen, Yamaha is releasing an 11.2-channel AV receiver for the first time, allowing you to finally build a system with a 7.2 4-channel setup. As per normal, Dolby Atmos and DTS-X are both supported, along with all the classic audio formats like Dolby True HD, DTS HD Master Audio, Dolby Digital Plus, Dolby Digital, and DTS. The typical Dolby Surround and DTS Neural X, which are currently the standards for most receivers and can convert older tracks like stereo mixes into full surround audio, are included in this track because mixing technologies couldn't be left out of it. One distinction between this model and the smaller RX-A8A was that it features Cinema DSP HD3, Yamaha's greatest DSP solution, which is typically reserved for their top-tier products. If you're not familiar with Cinema DSP HD3, it's Yamaha's own technology for creating sound fields. It makes use of several Cinema DSP engines, allows lossless decoding of 192 Hz signals, and offers 3D processing to give the sound field an additional vertical dimension. The receiver can reproduce diverse acoustic locations, such as concert halls or sporting arenas, using Cinema DSP, which can create a completely new degree of immersion. The device comes with as many DSP programs as Yamaha has made available, which is 24, giving you plenty to experiment with. There are situations in which the stereoscopic sound field technology can increase the overall volume and immersion of sound, but there are also many situations in which the final effect might feel quite fake. Remember that there is a lot of processing going on here, and we don't like processed sound that significantly changes the original mix. But having this method is excellent since you might like it better than we do. The receiver can also provide a number of simulated features when using Cinema DSP HD3. The virtual Cinema DSP is the first option, and it can generate up to 7 channels of surround sound without the need for any associated surround speakers. Next, we have Virtual Cinema Front, which enables you to place your surround speakers in front of the listening position while still receiving surround activity behind you. This can be quite useful if your space is constrained and you are unable to position your surround speakers where they should be. Silent Cinema is another benefit that we receive. That allows you to experience surround and sound field effects using only your headphones. Support is also provided for virtual presence speakers, which can be built even in the absence of genuine presence speakers. When there aren't any true surround back speakers accessible, you can still hear activity thanks to the virtual surround back speaker function. Last but not least, Dolby Atmos Height Virtualization was absent from earlier releases. Dolby Atmos Height Virtualization technology helps replicate the Atmos experience if you don't have the option to add in ceiling or upward firing speakers to your system. Use all 7 channels to approximate the potent effect of 4 overhead speakers, or range up to 5 speakers to mimic the effect of 2 in ceiling speakers. Surround AI is a feature that was absent from earlier versions and was only present in the top-tier releases. The DSP built-in technology now analyzes each scene and focuses on particular sound components including ambient sounds, music, dialogue, and special effects to maximize the surround effects in real time. The source content will heavily influence the final product, just as it does with all the other technologies that are accessible. For individuals who don't want to fiddle with the various DSP programs and prefer a more automated approach to handle everything, this can be a good option. While this was not always the case with the end product feeling much more altered than we would like, specific content can benefit from it. However, having it as a feature allows you to test it out. The receiver's inbuilt amplifiers have a 150 watt per channel output capacity. Obviously, this number decreases as more channels are used. It's unfortunate that manufacturers only provide power ratings for 2 channels, as this can be a very deceptive figure when it comes to true surround systems, which use many more channels than just 2. We used a 7.14-channel arrangement for our movie testing, which included 4 height speakers and a single subwoofer located in the front left corner of the testing space. The movie we chose to watch was midway in 4K UHD with its stunning Dolby Atmos mix. We have all we needed to understand the power of the RX-A8A from the full movie, which serves as reference material. To fully appreciate the degree of quality we are referring to, one must actually experience the immersion of the battle scenes. The movie features a ton of epic scenes and fight scenes, and each one is greater than the last, as sounds were perceived as originating from a greater distance than our speaker's actual physical presence. The front soundstage grew significantly. Both blatant side expansion and believable depth were present. The receiver proved to be a good manager of all elements, despite the presence of fighter jets everywhere and aerial anti-aircraft fire. What may have been a cacophony of sounds ended up being the most enjoyable movie-going experience possible. The RX-A8 undoubtedly produces high-quality audio, but it also has the power to turn up the volume to a point where your neighbors will beg for pity. And it was especially surprising how the Yamaha maintained its balance and unusually high performance even when pushed to its limits, and refused to give in to the pressure. Regarding music, the receiver can play back high-resolution audio files like FLAC, WAV, or EFF files in addition to the standard lower-quality audio formats like MP3, WMA, and OGG, which by the way may go up to 320 kbps. Additionally, DSD streaming is enabled up to 11.2 MHz. Yamaha appears to have upgraded the specifications in their more recent releases, as earlier models could only play FLAC and WAV files up to 192 kHz. The receiver also has Yamaha's compressed music enhancer, which can raise the quality of MP3 files and other low-resolution audio files to levels that are almost comparable to high-resolution audio. Compressed music enhancer can also operate over Bluetooth, which typically reduces audio quality to comply with the needs of transmission. Although you shouldn't anticipate a night and day change in all cases, this feature, which we have seen in practically all of their releases, can definitely help with lower quality content. We then conducted our standard music test, choosing a few favorite tracks in FLAC format to stream through the front USB connection for the greatest sound quality. The RX-A8 carries on Yamaha receivers' legacy of excellent audio reproduction. Nothing that could be stated about the RX musicality AAAs would do it credit. Everything we heard had excellent articulation, outstanding intonation, and a masterful sense of balance. You could close your eyes and imagine the performance was taking place in front of you as the stage in front of us came to life. The different sound elements could be clearly distinguished in space thanks to the extremely accurate sound imaging. While Yamaha's renowned DSP programs might produce a truly distinct ambience if you are really into that kind of output, panning effects were outstanding. There was no imbalance that we could detect, and this was true throughout the whole dynamic range. Yamaha is a master of their craft, and the receiver treated each song as such. When necessary, cautious, fun when possible, and sensitive when requested. Overall, we never had the impression that the device couldn't handle the content to the best of its ability. We usually experiment with different content for our reviews, including classical, heavy metal, pop rock, country, jazz, and electronic music. As usual, the receiver reproduced everything quite naturally without changing the original mix of any individual performance. Although every song is obviously distinct, the RX-A8 proved to be a proficient player of all genres of music. Yamaha hasn't changed its flagship model in a while. But things have gotten much more intriguing with the arrival of the RX-A8A. Yamaha made sure to take their time with the more expensive Aventage units before making them available to the general public. The receiver is the logical evolution of things. Is the RX-A8A the flagship device that we had anticipated it to be? Certainly, it is. Yamaha made a smart choice by including 11 channels of integrated amplification because it believed they lagged behind the competition in this area. The RX-A8A has all the requirements for being a top pick. Fantastic audio output, a long range of features, superb build quality, and the assurance of Yamaha's experience and knowledge. Additionally, Yamaha provides more HDMI 2.1 ports than Denon and Marantz combined. The Yamaha RX-A8A accomplishes so many things right that it deserves to be regarded as one of the best AV receivers you can buy in 2022. If there is one thing we could say to sum up all we encountered, this concludes our review. No electronic device is flawless, but this one is as close as you can get. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please like it if you did. If you're new here, click the subscribe button. Wishing you all the best until the next video.